When you turn on the news, what do you see? Our parents saw things that were feel-good stories, like an old man rescuing a cat from a tree. But today's kids don't see stuff like that anymore. It's not because it doesn't happen anymore. It's not because there aren't those feel-good stories, but rather because there are more pervasive issues that we have to tackle in this country. Most of the time when I turn on the news, I see stories of another teenager who is armed and goes into his classroom and massacres his peers. And this has become the post-Columbine reality that many of us face. And so this really got us to wondering, why is it in the most powerful country that our own civilians are attacking themselves? And we think part of it has to do with the fact that guns are pretty much unregulated in this country. And so today we're going to examine the problem of gun violence and ultimately what we can do to fix it.
Here are 5 things that are harder to do than buying a gun in America.
Number 1, it's harder to let your kids play outside in your own backyard unsupervised than buy a gun in America.
It's harder to bring birthday treats to your child's school than it is to buy a gun in America.
It is harder to get access to mental health care at a low cost in America than it is to buy a gun.
Number 4, it's harder to get an abortion than it is to get a gun.
Number 5, it is harder to breastfeed in public than it is to gain access to a gun. The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. We aren't trying to take away your guns. We are trying to put more measures in place so toddlers don't get a hold of firearms, so school shooters don't get a hold of guns and massacre their peers.
We are taking baby steps towards progress on this issue. With Obama's executive order, gun companies are now required to actually enforce the few regulations that we have in place. In 2015, there were more mass shootings than there were days in the year. This is a huge issue, and we need to solve it ASAP. Here's some examples of some solutions.
In Oregon, we're lucky to have an initiative program where regular people just like you and me who have ideas can call up your representatives, and you can find a list of your representatives and their phone numbers and how to get a hold of them through email on the Oregon Legislature website. And you can contact them, and you can propose an idea and see if they'll sponsor it. And if those representatives can sponsor that idea, they can turn it into a bill and it can go up for debate in Oregon Congress and become a law. Here's an idea for a policy proposal that we have.
Bury guns, not people.
Bury guns, not people.
Bury guns, not people.
Bury guns, not people.
Bury
Bury guns, not people.